recording. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Habitat Now. I'm your host, Aaron Shea, and welcome. And I have the honor today to have artist Wolff join us from her studio live streaming. And we're super honored to have her. Her presentation is going to be fantastic, and it's going to be heavy on a video that she produced of a video tour of her studio. And so we'll be watching that as well. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Also on Facebook, thank you for joining. Feel free to share to get more people aware of what we're doing. So without further ado, I invite on to say hello to everybody.
Oh, so it's my turn now. I'm very, very happy that you invited me. You know that I have been working with Habitats 100 years, I think. You were not born, and
that's true.
Not either, Aaron and Corey. And I was a baby artist for Ferdinand then. He was a baby gallerist, maybe. And now I'm the grandmother. A long time has got, and all the time we had good connections and good contact, and you made it possible that I could go on and be bigger and better and all that. I'm very grateful for that. And this video, which will be shown now, is done for you. We put together a little exhibition here in the studio, and I tried to explain what it's all about, and old pieces and very few new glass pieces, and what I'm doing today. I also show some booklets, quotes, and I will let you know, you could go on and read these quotes in our homepage, Wolff Foundation homepage, and follow up. There are more quotes than those I showed in this video. So once more, great. It's fantastic. It's amazing to see friends and to talk about and show this movie.
That's great. Like I said, we're honored to have you. This is, I appreciate the fact that you made this video for everybody today, and I look forward to sharing it. So I'm going to kick into gear here and start sharing my screen, get my presentation up and running, which I think it is now. Which screen is it on? There it is. So we'll start taking over all your screens. And I am going to also make sure we have our audio configured so we can show the audio in the video. Share sound. Cool. All right. Welcome, guys. Habitat Now. Little homework. We have our auction works that are unsold available on habitatglass.com. Check it out at your leisure. We are getting together. Glass 49 is also online at glass49.com. Come and explore that exhibition. Viral Glass is on display, showing artworks that have been inspired or created during the pandemic at viralglass.org, curated by David McFadden. We're going to try to get together, like I've talked about in previous presentations, live in person in September, so plan to be there and watch more of the stuff that we've been doing since May of last year online and share with everybody. And talks will continue. You can see we have on lined up from this list, and Nicholas Africano, Dan Clayman, supposedly next weekend, and lots more. So back to the topic here, Wolff has a show right now on artsy.com of her available pieces that you're going to see in this presentation. And I'll have my little context here, a little bit about Anne. Anne has a long history with the material, as she is one of the first artists to intensively deal with glass. She's a pioneer of the studio glass movement, and she is well known throughout the world for her intense and incredible sculptures. So thank you, Anne, for being here today. We are blessed, and we love having you in our Habitat family. And like you said, 100 years now is definitely right, and we're grateful to have you. So this is the video Anne produced. She talked about a minute ago, and we will kick right into it for you guys to enjoy. If you have any questions during this presentation, just feel free to type them in the chat, and we'll get to them after. And I'm looking forward to sharing this with everybody.
I am here. Say hello to my tomato plants. They are waiting for to go outside and grow and get fruit. And they are living in the studio, you see, in the glass house kind of. And they are kind of equal to everything we do here, is growing. My team, it's Dirk and me. Dirk is my husband, and a long life together. He's not an artist. I'm the one who makes the art, and Dirk is helping me to make the molds and packing, sending away, having kind of ideas about how to work with this and that material. He learned easily how to cast glass and was building our first studio together with another studio artist who knew all about it. So we were doing our own castings, which were up to 40 kilo. We did ourselves in the studio, and we had to transport them and to pack them and to polish them and to everything. Dirk was around. He was almost 14 different people for me. Of course, when we did really large things, Dirk and me, we had to work together with other experts. And this was, one of them was Radovan Brüchter, which is our dear friend now. He came once a year, he's still coming once a year for a month or so, but he's also working with the real large things in his own studio. When I work with metals, I do this now very often. I have a good team also. And this is Christian Pfeiffer, who's helping me in the metal works. Hundreds of drawings, never-ending story. What's behind the mask is a theme. You all carry masks, we all. And instead of doing drawings, you can easily, and as well, working in clay. I call that making a drawing in a dimension, and clay is a fantastic material. When you put glass on this drawing in clay, you would get this piece maybe as a result. And here we have the negative. It's a negative sculpture which is showing a positive, which is very fascinating. No other material can do that. That is still kind of a mask. And nose. And the same thing, really very large.
from head and face to the body. Body is a gesture also. You dance, you have movements, you express something with your body. At that time, I was much interested in dance theater. And the result was to do a group of people moving and also showing lots of people and one going out from the group, the individual. But even in the small pieces, I thought the gesture is the most important. A gesture with your arm could be a wing. Or take the classical gesture, kind of lifting you up the arm. Everything is possible in clay and then in glass. Movement here, this piece is called step. And then to the most important pieces I think I have done in the figure series. Andante. You have in this piece somebody negative, going through, getting positive. And for me, this is a piece of room and time. And you know, room and time, the old Greece, this was kind of the base for doing art, to develop time and space. Time and space again, but this time getting wild. She's jumping in the glass piece, in the time, and we're making her steps and coming out more excited or more watching. Time and space, again, I went to something which has nothing to do with body anymore. But that's not right. It has to do with body. And we have time in it. Once more. What do you do up there? It's kind of trap. Trap is also because of what you see isn't there. The mirroring in the piece. Another piece is the arena, called the arena. You can step up, but you can sit down and take it easy and look at things. Another trap here, the trap of the bird. This bird is going, noosing, and is wondering what's going on with himself in the glass. You can see him in different shapes if you are looking into the glass. Nothing. Why? You cover over something, you look into it, and you wouldn't see it. Nothing. It's nothing. I think it's my last piece in glass. Concerning the question, why glass? I started as a designer for a glass factory, Costa. 500 people should get employment through the two designers here, Ann and Göran Wolff. This is not doing art, this is doing serving the industry, the glass industry, the manufacturer. But I learned a lot at that time. I learned what glass was and which fantastic possibilities there were. So I started doing my one-of-a-kind pieces in form of etching and sandblasting images, narrative stories on glass. looking like this. The stories had to do with my life at home, family life. And I was fascinated doing this, though I don't feel like an artist. At that time, at that coaster time, I get involved suddenly into the glass movement. I was invited to different schools through Marvin Lipowski and Deutsche Hochschule. And there was the main thing, the most fantastic thing was kind of that we were sharing our ideas, techniques, having a fantastic time with each other, listening to each other. And this was for me something completely new, where I was respected as an artist suddenly, or not as a designer. So I stayed with glass for a while, just for the sharing and for the societies, the art societies. Let's talk about art, which is part of the word glass art. We should leave glass for a while. And I think it's best to make a quote which Picasso had said: "Art is something which blows away the dust from your head." No, not head, from your soul. And this means, in a way, that you could, that art is kind of impressing you, or you get in touch with it and it changes you in a way. The other things, the decorative moment, which is so strong in glass, should be put aside for a while, I think. And it's very important to focus on art, even if you are a glass person and work with glass mainly. And very often I miss this approach. What to say more? I think for me it was time. I am now getting in the last season of my life to look back. And this I have done for several years now. And I have looked at my work I have done and started with small drawings, which I blew up in big sizes. And they are all around here. There's a woman sitting with a hood on and hiding her hair. And you see a lot of threads around. The thread as a lifeline has been following me always when I made drawings, because my drawings are done of lines. Here's a hood, and it's not done in glass anymore. Today, I prefer metal. And the metal is fantastic if you work with the very shiny parts and the rough, dark ones. The bird again, he's coming out of the hood. And even other things are involved with hoods. Structures or shapes. And they meet each other, that's the meaning. For to talk or not to talk. it's not only to go back to the hood or to the thread or to the drawings. It's, for me, it is also is something to go back to the very beginning, to the very first drawing kids do. And there we are in a theme which I call my poddies. Poddy is coming from cephalopod, which is a drawing where only the head is important, and kids make arms, eyes, a head in a simple way. I am in that to find my own poddy, and I'm the poddy in different ways. In metal. In metal again. The thread is around, as in my very first drawings. The thread is around. I want to talk about the thread again, which I take up again after my very first drawing. And the thread is not only in the drawing, I even surround the images by real embroidery. These works are devoted to my mother. There are the ones which involve my face, my foot, and the bird. My latest work, where the bird is involved, are filled with embroidery. And after all glass making, I'm interested now very much in lines, the lifeline. You could call me an embroidery artist.
Wow, that was incredible. Thank you, An, for creating that video. And let me get to the next kick out of this. And that was incredible. Thank you for sharing with us that story and sharing us what you're working on. And I have a question for you. Your work that I've seen in my career here has been a variety of scales. And like in the picture we're looking at now, it's incredibly large in the blues piece in the back. And how challenging is it when you were making the works of that scale to get them to come to fruition? Let me stop sharing for now.
You mean, I don't really understand your
No problem.
size-wise. You talk about sizes.
Size, how
to make a small one and to make a large one.
Yeah. Difficult.
That's kind of, if you have an idea which is very strong and you think it must be monumental, you would call it here. You will show it in an authentic place for many people, a museum piece or whatever. Then it's easy for me to make it larger, make it a big one. The small one are more the intimate pieces, which I can think of that people want to have at home.
Gotcha.
That's about scale.
Right. And then looking at your work over my lifetime and seeing the negative space that you used in your visuals, it's probably the fact that you have a lot of experience doing this, but how do you visualize when you make the molds? You're making them out of clay? How do you visualize how the work will look once it's cast?
This is kind of guessing. I mean, I work spontaneous in clay, and I know if I would just make it positive, negative, I try to explain that in a very simple way, then you get these both things, the negative and the positive, in one piece, which kind of is very fascinating. And how the piece then looks from the backside, it would look good. I don't know why, but it gets out well. It's nothing complicated with this, just making it.
Gotcha.
I often do my work, all my drawings are done without a concept. I just start and do it. And of course, if you do a glass piece and must make a mold and a mother mold and all these mold making, you have to be a little bit more concerned about how will it be. But the main thing in the art is the expression of this face and not the technique. Mm-hmm. The technique comes and is good, and we know it, and I get help with it and all that. But it's not the most important thing.
Okay, I understand. I have a question from the audience. What a brilliant and inspiring artist. The new thread drawings are incredible. Your work will drive me to be better. That's what Steve wrote. And someone asked if the work that you make that's figurative, are they self-portraits sometimes?
Yeah, I guess all of them. Now, I don't know. I when I make a drawing, and that's what I do in a way when I do even glass faces, I start without having an idea about it's me or that's somebody else. I make a face, and when the face is ready or done, it will tell me, stop, Anne, I'm here. I am something. And then, of course, sometimes it looks like me, sometimes mainly it looks like a woman. And therefore, I think it is me in this image. But there's once in a while also male faces, more or less. But I cannot make the decision. They tell me, stop now. We are ready. We are here. And I respect it.
I gotcha. So what's new to me too in this body of work is this bird, the bird you have incorporated in both your glass work and your metal work. Can you tell me what the bird symbolizes for you? Symbolizes what it means to you. The bird.
The bird doesn't mean, the meaning is coming later. The bird was my kind of friend. We have lots of these black birds around us here.
Gotcha.
And they are kind of very human in a way, because once in a while they come alone, and once in a while two, and then lots of. And if you study these kind of birds, then you feel they are very related to human behavior. And this excited me. And when I read in one story that this bird, this black bird, has been in the nowhere. And the nowhere is just an exciting theme for me in my age. Then you will know this bird a little bit more and get any more friend with it. And so I started making portraits of birds, and they appear here and there all the time. I don't know. Funnily enough, the great painter, Van Gogh, his last painting were in a field, and the blackbirds were kind of rushing over.
Gotcha. Another question from the audience. Someone said they feel sadness in your work. They see sadness in your work in the figures. Is that intentional, or is it just the way the work turns out?
What, once more,
Someone said they feel sadness when they look at some of your work. Yeah, is that intentional or not?
If they feel sadness, it's their problem in a way, because the figures are not sad, they are real, they are reality. And if you get close to your own reality, you will find out that these are not sad figures. Mm-hmm. It's not my intention to make sad figures. I want to make them as things are.
I gotcha, I understand. Well, thank you, Anne. That wraps up my question. I do understand that process gets you to your art. You create, and what is important is what is created. And that is incredible. And the work that you've done over your lifetime has been some of the most impressive I've ever seen. And we are honored to have you today. I'm going to take back over your screen and I'm going to show everyone. We had an exhibition at the gallery years ago, and I wanted to give everybody an idea of what Anne's work looks like on display. This is in our gallery in Royal Oak years ago, but you can see the beauty and the scale of what she creates. And you can see some of the masks work and some of the other works that she was mentioning in the video. And you can kind of feel the space. This was a while ago, as you can tell, those of you who have been to the gallery, it has changed since then. But the works are incredible, and they've always been showstoppers when we bring her work to SOFA and whatnot. Another exhibition.
That show was for Anne's 70th birthday.
Ah, thank you, Ferd. Ferd's joining us. Hi, Ferd.
Hi. And Kathy.
Hi, Anne.
Hi, Kathy.
Hi, that's fantastic.
Wonderful to see you.
Yes.
Thank you so much for making this wonderful presentation. It's so interesting, always is.
Oh, dear guys, I miss you.
Yes, we do too.
Hi, saying that well again. Everything is over.
Yeah.
So I got another question from the audience. Do you cast and finish all your work in your studio, in your own studio?
No, it's like this. We have been casting since 5 years ago. We finished with it because it was too heavy work with it. Up to 40 kilo, we did everything our own. But on the other hand, now we work together with Radovan Brichter, who has a studio and is doing our work. But we have done these practical works with our hands ourselves for a long time as well.
I understand. Makes a lot of sense. And today you find the right people who can work with you to get what you need done. Check out YouTube. Go watch more videos. Anne has a ton of promotional videos discussing her work. A lot of it is not in English, but it's very beautiful to see. She has a video about traps, a video about large blues, and it's worth definitely checking out. And it's great to have Anne create this. Her artsy show is on display, and I will paste a link in the chat, and I'll send an email to everybody later to go see the available works. And you're also welcome to go to Anne's studio someday, if the world permits, to see the work live in person. So I'll just run through some of the pieces. I didn't have a chance to put the details up, but all the details are on Artsy. And a lot of these were just the works that you had seen already in her video. And I think I'm still sharing my screen. I'm not. I probably should do that. Here we go. So you can see Anne's work here as she's talking about these particular pieces during her video. And I'm just going to kind of run through them so you can kind of see her professional images of what you saw in her presentation. And then if you have any more questions, this would be a great time to ask, as we're now reaching across the internet directly into her studio to see Anne directly. So it's quite awesome to have this technology. I've lived with so many of these pieces for so long. It's great to see them all together in her studio being shared with the world. And it's very interesting that now Anne has found metal as another form of medium of expression and is exploring that on top of her drawings. And they are impressive as well. We just jump through the rest of these and we'll be able to kick back and answer any more questions you may have. We're almost, yeah, I wanted to ask you about the nothing works. This was the most recent, you said your final work in glass. Can you tell us a little bit more about this work?
I didn't understand. Vad ska jag berätta om det?
Ja, om du kunde berätta någonting om dem, eftersom dina 2 sista verk.
Yeah, it was more or less that glass is not, it's not there in a way. It's very difficult to explain. You cover something in this way. It's just to cover something, but what you cover is not there, which is kind of nonsense, but it is true. You can do this with glass, and it is, you cover glass and the glass is not visible. You would look into it and you would see the bottom, or you would see some bubbles, but there is nothing.
They are very beautiful. I love the flowing of the material on the outside of these. Wonderful work. And another beautiful piece. Beautiful. This was the piece you showed in the video as well. All the explorers and people coming out. And this is the step work in, is this an amber color, I'm assuming? All right, thank you. That wraps up the visuals. And this would be a good time to, if anybody has any more questions for Anne right now, or else we will wrap up this presentation. It will be posted up on YouTube for those who missed it, and forever for those who want to share it. And I am grateful, so grateful for you and for joining us today. And I'm glad Ferd and Kathy could be here too. Thank you guys for joining, along with everybody else taking the time out of your day to participate. And next week we'll continue doing these, and we'll hopefully visiting with Dan Clayman. But in the meantime, expect an email from me showing you more of Anne's work. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact me anytime. If you have any more questions, this will be a good time, or else feel free to unmute yourself and say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye, Anne.
Bye, Anne.
Presentation.
Goodbye.
I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Bye.
Oh, the honor.